All right, this is we're going to start from scratch on this kinesio tape job for a knee stability slash offload technique here. So I got a roll of Rocktape. You can use kinesio tape. I like to use dynamic tape, but it's quite a bit expensive just for a demo here. So you can use the same application in whatever tape you have, right? So for this, I got a roll of Rocktape. This is perfect because you can even see me go through the whole gauntlet of what I got to do to get this set up. So the tape, I'm going to apply 4 strips. One strip is going to go distal to proximal, straight up that patella. We're going to go inside to outside, and then we're going to go outside to inside, and we're going to add one more strip just as kind of that anti-compression strip. I mean, it's all anti-compression here, but just to give you a little bit more, if you have an instance of like, oh yeah, I have just kind of some knee pain bugginess going on here, right? So for this, we're going to get that first strip laid here. I'm going to measure it out, right? And I'm going from basically the bottom of that patella tendon, right at that tibial tuberosity, right above that quad tendon. So about, I don't know, 2 to 3 fingers above the kneecap, right? So right here, I'm gonna get that first strip. So I'm gonna cut first strip, measure it out. Second strip, same idea, right? We're gonna go in to out. So should be about there, right? That same measurement is what we're going off of. So top of that tibial plateau, right at the end of that quad tendon. And then that third strip is going to be that same length. We're just going in that opposite direction. And then the pain strip is going to be about half that. So, I mean, really, we just want to cross that patella tendon or cross that area. So we can go one strip. I'd say this is about 6 inches. And I'm cutting that there. Now for all my tapes, I want to round my edges just so that I don't have such a hard edge so that it doesn't peel up, right? You can see how kind of that edge there, because it's sharp, it'll want to peel up on you. So if you round your edges, that'll prevent that as best as you can, right? So pretty simple here. I'm just gonna get my tape. I like to fold a strip in half. That way I can knock 2 birds out with 1 stone. If you got the tape that's already pre-cut and pre-shaped, you don't got to do this. So it's boom, you can see round edge there. Okay, and I'm going to do it for the rest of my strips here. So if you got hairy legs or hair anywhere you're going to put the tape, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to lay the tape down. Not impossible, but it's probably not going to stick as good. So you can use spray adhesive, something like this right here. This is Mueller's Toughener pre-tape spray. It's basically just an adhesive. I call it sticky spray, right? So it just creates a more sticky surface for the spray to lay. Now I'm going to get my strips here, and I'm going to get my first strip. I'm going to lay this on my knee with a bent knee. Reason being is, if my knee is bent, my tissue's lengthened. If it's straightened, you see how it's shortened, right? So this distance becomes shorter because tissue shortens, right? The concentric phase of the muscle contraction versus the eccentric phase. Now we're lengthened out here. So if we're lengthened out, theoretically, I shouldn't have to put any stretch on the tape because my tissue is already lengthened. So now, in this lengthened position, I'm going to start laying my tape. So I go top of tibial plateau to about that top of the quadriceps tendon. So first strip is going to be laid here. For this mid strip, if you have the fatter, they call it, for Rocktape, they call it the Big Daddy tape. Or if you have, like, I don't know, it's like 5-inch wide kinesio tape or Rocktape, or whatever tape you're using. Dynamic tape has their own version of it as well too. Go for it. Lay that fatter piece of tape here just because you'll get more coverage around that patella. But this is going to be, this should still suffice for demonstration purposes as well as application if this is the tape that you have. Right? So I'm laying. Again, I lay that anchoring strip. I'm going to just kind of cinch it down here, rub it, get some friction on it so that that heat warms up that adhesive. And then all I'm doing here is I'm laying that tape along that patella. Boom. No stretch. That's the first piece. And I'm going to lay it here. Second piece. I'm going to go into out. So I'm going to start distal, furthest away from my heart. I'm going to angle it in because I want to create kind of like a reverse C coming up my thigh here. So don't make it too aggressive because the tape has to come back, and it's a hard angle to cut if you go sharp versus here. So here, I'm just going to lay it, and I just want to get some joint line coverage. Right, so lay that piece here, no stretch, get my paper pulled, and I go in, and I come back around, crown that top, boom. Second piece. Third piece here. You can either do the outside strip, or I like to go anti-compression or the pain strip here. Keep quoting that. The pain strip right along where that pain site is. So for instance, if I'm like, oh yeah, kind of have a little tenderness here around my patella area, I'll go boom. I'm going to tear it more towards central of the tape, right? So if my tape is like this, I'm tearing it here versus just ripping off the edge and putting that anchor down. Reason being is I'm here, and this is where I'm going to put a little stretch on the tape. So I go about 50% stretch. If that's 100, right, go half of that. That's about 50, and I'm going to lay down. Reason why I only go 50 again is because I already have stretch on tissue. So lay down, lay that center, and then the anchor is most important. Make sure your anchors don't have any stretch. Otherwise, it's not going to stick because that stretch is just going to peel that tape back up. So lay, right, now we got that. And then the outside strip right here, starting distal again, right at that anchoring strip. Remember, not a wicked angle here. Lay that puppy here. Come up, around, just like so, right? And then just make sure you rub it nice and proper, get it to set. You can kind of see how my edges are starting to peel up, so I'll just rub those a little bit more. That's pretty much it. That's your knee tape job.